Hi there, Blake Middleton, and this is Jen Ferrell. And we're having her show us how to prepare a healthy meal that can be eaten at home or taken to work in support of Healthy IU and its initiative in increasing the health and wellness of IU's employees.
Hi, I'm Jen Ferrell. I have a catering business in Richmond called Taste. We're working out of Quaker Hill Conference Center today, and I've planned a real simple and very healthy veggie chili. This serves 6, but you can easily double the recipe so that you can have extras all week long. There's a little bit of prep involved in chopping the veggies, but once you get that done, it's super easy, super quick. It takes about a half an hour to simmer on the stove while you're doing other things. So start with some onions, and there's the old saying that if you don't know what to make for dinner, start chopping an onion and pretty soon it will come together. I find that's true. I've done that at home, you know.
Do that oftentimes, yeah.
While you're slicing the onions, the juices are flowing and you think of something to do with it. And they're super healthy. This has about 1.5 cups of chopped onions. And this is the most tedious part right here. Got a lot of the other veggies laid out. This has zucchini, bell peppers, mushrooms, green onions, any kind of beans that you like. You can substitute as needed. I've got some black beans and some lentils. Black-eyed peas, kidney beans are really good here. And if you're a mushroom hater, I'd suggest you give them a try in this recipe. They have a really nice texture. They blend in and kind of make a meaty substitute. If you're not into mushrooms and don't want to try them, you can use an eggplant, you can use more zucchini, you could use a grain if you wanted to, a barley or a quinoa.
Quinoa is great. I actually just found out about quinoa a few years ago. 15 grams of protein per half cup. It's an awesome complex carbohydrate.
Yeah. And it's also, if you want to serve the chili over a grain, that's a really good one to do that with. Serve it over baked potatoes, over brown rice. If you have it for a couple days, if you double the recipe, you can have it on some nachos or make a taco salad out of it. So, I know after you eat chili for a couple days, you're looking for a new way to serve it up. Just get these chopping and sauteing over here. And I've also got on the recipe, which I assume will be online.
Yes.
Yeah.
We posted online.
I've got some recipe notes on there about how you can make it in your slow cooker. So make it in the morning. We're just gonna do 2 tablespoons of oil. Throw the onion in there. We'll let it work for about 3 minutes until it gets translucent, until the edges start to get a little bit brown on there. Alright, so the getting the veggies to let off their water and then get brown is really important to building the flavor.
Okay.
And we would do all these steps if you're doing the crock pot method too. A lot of times people complain that their crock pot meals come out all tasting the same.
Yeah.
And I think it's because people think they can just dump everything in and leave it. And really, if you put just a little bit of time into the crock pot meal, it will pay off.
Okay.
You know, so if you get all these brown edges and if you get this cuts, it'll end up with a much better product.
Okay, so more flavor if you start seasoning and wait for it to brown.
Right.
Okay.
So it's the same thing if you're doing meat in a crock pot. You know, you want to brown it before you put it in. You don't just put like a pound of raw hamburger.
Right. Yeah, I'm typically used to seasoning and browning the meat and then putting that in afterwards.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah.
good.
Okay. All right.
So we'll let that work, and then I've got the spices right here. I've got chili powder, cumin, cayenne pepper, and salt, and regular black pepper. Put that in and stir it for a couple of minutes. Same thing, the heat releases the spices and just makes it a lot more flavorful. Would you like to maybe open a few cans for us there? Put you to work since I've got the help.
No problem.
What kind of healthy things do you like to eat at home?
I'm a big fan of meal bars, and the Laura bars are
probably one of my favorites. They're coming out with a lot of flavors, great company. I'm pretty sure they're all organic as far as the ingredients go. Cliff is another company that I really like to go through. Not that I'm trying to advertise here, but with the schedule as it is, I like to either grab something that's healthy and prepackaged or make it myself. Very big into lasagnas. I love making lasagnas. It's just one of my favorite things to make, actually. Because like you said, you just start chopping and then it kind of takes on a shape of its own as you go with it. And most of the time it ends up tasting good.
Yeah.
So.
It's at least decent.
Yes. Yeah. It's edible. Yeah.
Well, I have a really good recipe for a homemade laurel bar.
Do you?
So maybe next time we can do that.
Yeah. That sounds great.
Canned beans are fine. I made some lentils up yesterday, and so we're going to use those. Those are from dry, but you know, if you're in a rush and trying to get dinner on, canned beans are fine. Just want to make sure that you do rinse them really well. It gets all the salt and kind of that gooey stuff off of them that you don't want. See all the goo that comes off of them that you don't really want in your chili. Those are good. And at this point, we can just add the tomatoes and the sauce and the beans. I'm gonna throw some things in there.
Sure. Yeah. So do you strain the tomatoes or do you just dump that?
I just add those in like they are with the juice.
Okay.
It just adds to the, instead of water, you've got the tomato juice in there.
Alright, adding the tomatoes.
There's the lentils. And you can really make this as thick or as thin as you want. It's a good idea to let it cook down, to let the flavors build, but then if you like a thinner chili, you can, add some more tomato juice or water. Or if you want it to be thicker, just let it simmer on the stove without a lid and it'll thicken up. This is tomato sauce. And then we do have 1 cup of water. So it has really nice texture, lots of chunks. It's really healthy.
Definitely liking the collaboration of colors. It almost makes me, it looks appetizing without even having to smell it. This looks great.
And you can, do the spice to your liking. If you want to leave out the jalapenos, that's no problem. If you want to add some more, that's great too. Now we'll let that simmer for about 20 minutes and let it all come together. And we're going to do some fresh garnishes while that happens. I've got some sour cream, I've got some cilantro and some green onions, and I think an avocado goes a long way in chili. Do you like avocado?
I do.
Some good healthy fats. Lots of people garnish chili with other things, so if you want to do shredded cheese or, this recipe as is vegan. What you add to it might not be, but that's up to you. I think we can go ahead and bring I've had one simmering here. It's got all the colors together. It's made a nice broth on its own, so we can maybe plate that up and garnish it as you'd like it.
Okay.
Might have a little
Sure.
I can usually even get my kids to eat chili, so it's a pretty safe meal.
It's always popular in my house, so growing up.
Use some cilantro. And all these herbs are full of micronutrients, so it's really nice to have. Avocado. We've been known to overeat on these, so.
They are really tasty. I eat mine with honey, and I use them in protein shakes all the time. So.
I eat mine with soy sauce.
Interesting. I'll have to try that.
I think your honey sounds a little weird, but so my soy sauce might too. So this is the finished product.
That's great.
Easy to take along for work the next day.
Yeah.
All right, so now we have our finished product, garnished as you like, and ready to have for dinner or take to work the next day. Thanks for cooking with me today. I'm Jen Ferrell of Taste by Jen Ferrell, a local catering firm, and thanks for coming out and cooking.
My pleasure, yeah.